that's come later on. I think
Yeah.
we sort of established ourselves as a good live band before we were maybe good on record.
No, but in a way that explains a lot, because you guys started off without even using social media, which is a strange tactic in this day and age to sort of go, we don't need Facebook. My mum has Facebook. Why didn't your band have Facebook to start with?
It was kind of like it was a bit of an experiment, but it was also a bit of so much hangs on, like how many likes a band has on Facebook and stuff like that, and like it's so much stuff's judged on that before anything else. And in the position we were in at the time, we wanted to sort of see if we could still make an impact without that stuff.
And how long did you hold off getting the socials?
I think it was maybe like 6 months or something like that. Yeah,
that's respectable.
We did a tour. We did. I think maybe a tour or 2 tours and put out a single or a couple singles, and then we hit the limit of
how far you can expand.
Because we before we would like message everyone and put posters up in towns and things like that, and like the promoters did their bit, and we still sold tickets and stuff like that.
That's satisfying that word of mouth still sort of exists in this day and age.
Yeah, and there was a talking point in itself that we didn't have the social media and stuff. So
nightmare for researching you, though. I imagine. I feel sorry for those early interviews.
Yeah, well, it just like quite soon became apparent that it was like a sort of necessary thing to do.
Evil.
Yeah, a necessary evil. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So
are you comfortable with the socials now then, in a way?
Well, we are comfortable doing it, but I think it's one of those things where if it wasn't, we're not the kind of people, like, if it wasn't for the band, we wouldn't really be updating the social media and stuff like that.
You know, like, hit me up on Snapchat, guys.
No, it's like something that we have to make ourselves do. It's just one of those. It's like.
Which is your preferred social media then? Which is your favourite one if you had to pick one?
Instagram, I think. Yeah.
Instagram, yeah, because it's a little bit. You don't have to put as much into it. You can do a picture. That'll do. You're done for the day.
Yeah,
I respect that, and I love the stories. You know.
Yeah, the stories is a good feature.
Little insight. You done some stories today. You been advertising the gig.
Yeah, we've done a few. We got a burrito earlier, which was probably the best burrito we've ever had.
Oh, shout out where that's from then.
It was just down the road.
Just down the road.
What was it called?
I should know it. What's it called?
I've forgotten what it's called. V-Rev.
V-Rev. Respect, mate. I like it. So
that got in the story.
Big up that. Send us a free burrito if you're watching.
We were in a hailstorm earlier. That got a bit of story action.
Nice. I like it. Could have joined that with the family rain a little bit on later.
Oh yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. We don't need to cross-contaminate the streams. That's fine. That's good. Obviously, we've always got. Will Kiwi lend me his secret to his long locks? That's from Chaz Emma.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
The secret, I guess, is don't get it cut. I don't know.
Don't get it cut. It's persistence.
Yeah. Well, it was lockdown as well.
Was created the long do. It suits you though, man.
Thanks, mate.
It's working for you. What shampoo do you use, by the way?
Head and Shoulders, just
old school, mate.
Yeah, just
Claudia
classic.
Winkleman's got her fangs into you, hasn't she? I knew that'd happen early on. She gets the best of us. But you've got a social distance tour coming in October, right?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It will be so the last gigs we did was February 2020.
So that's just after the debut album came out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we consider ourselves really lucky that we were able to tour that at all before. Because we got the album out in January, and then we did the tour in February, and then literally a couple of weeks after the tour finished, like the world went into lockdown. It's not been the same since. So we're really lucky that we were able to do that.
Yeah.
But this tour in a couple of weeks' time is the first gig since then. Well, and today actually is the first set we've done since then, so it's quite cool. And
how does it feel to be back in this sort of like live setting? Because it is like you've travelled here, you've sort of gone for food beforehand. Nice, Is it bringing back memories?
Yeah, it's really nice. So I'm a little bit worried about our fitness levels.
Yeah, you've mentioned this before.
But yeah.
How fit do you have to be in a band? Like, what would you say?
I think it depends on the band.
Yeah,
we kind of give it our all, especially with a 45-minute set today, throwing us in the deep end there with a.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. We'll be all right.
What we can from you, you know. We just want to. If we can get it, we'll have it.
No, we'll be all right. We're buzzing to be here and playing a set at all, and also buzzing for the tour in a couple of weeks' time. It'll be I mean, it's socially distanced and seated, so like the vibe's going to be a
Ooh,
little bit.
have you done one of
different.
those before?
No.
Okay, it's sort of like a jazz bar. That's what I'm going to describe
Yeah.
it. And people get, I've got to say this, you'll have the most drunk audience you've ever had because it's so simple to get pints delivered to your table. Like, they will love it regardless. You can sound however you guys want to. It doesn't matter about your fitness because they're hearing what they want to hear. That's the joy.
It is also, we're going to be testing out like a bunch of new songs as well, so it's a good opportunity to get to sort of test them out in a live environment.
You're
and
making
everything,
this
yeah.
interview so easy, mate. I didn't even have to plug you for new music on the way because I mean, it wasn't that long ago that you've released an album, like your debut, which is Forever Whatever. Incredible album. I've been listening to it to jog to.
Have you?
And it's a weird thing to listen to because it's like, it's really emotive. And it's not maybe the fastest paced of things,
yeah.
but there's a drive in every song that I was like, I'm running and I'm not thinking about it.
Oh, cool.
So it was brilliant for that. But tell me more about these new songs. What's happening there?
Well, we were going to record the album last year, but we would have probably recorded it in a studio we've got our own studio down in Somerset where we are,
Yeah.
which is like where we've always like done demos and stuff like that, but obviously the coronavirus lockdown situation sort of meant that we recorded it ourselves in the studio, which was cool.
So this
It was
is
like
self-produced then?
yeah, pretty much. So Justin, who recorded the first album, he's the guitarist and editors.
Yes.
We recorded the first album with him, and he has sort of produced or helped with the production on this second album, but from a distance,
from
like,
afar,
Zoom and
yeah.
stuff, and we'd
Like
send him
the hand
bits.
of God.
Yeah, so we'd send him like demos and stuff, and he'd be like, "I'll try this here," or like that kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And he lent us a bunch of mics and gear and stuff like that. So
Wow. Look at that. I mean, because you toured with editors as well.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was off the back of that we went and recorded with him the first time around.
Oh, amazing.
So recording it ourselves was it was like quite a big learning curve at points, like. And
Does it feel a lot different from Forever Whatever then? Because you've done it all in-house, sort of.
I think like everything was a lot more considered in a way, because in recording Forever Whatever we recorded everything in a week.
Yeah.
And also Justin made a lot of the decisions on how things were recorded and like stuff like that. Whereas when it was us doing it ourselves, we had all the time in the world, which is like could be a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
But it was.
Well, how did that work for you
It took
guys?
a lot longer,
Yeah.
I think, but everything maybe was more considered, and is maybe more like precise, direct. Maybe I'm not quite sure, but it was.
Ooh. Are we going to hear any of those new songs tonight?
No.
Oh man, you
Sorry,
tease.
You'll
So
have to come to the tour in a couple of weeks.
This man knows how to play the game. You know, rope you in with the old stuff and then be like, "You want to hear something new? Come along. You got to pay
You
for
know
that."
what? We decided like we couldn't play. We were like the first. We don't want to play them first on this live stream. The first
Yeah.
time we've ever played them, and then just completely screw them up. So.
Okay, so it's out of respect to the fan.
Yeah,
I
guess,
admire
yeah.
that. So, I mean, this is amazing that it's not been long since the first album's come out and then suddenly you're like, okay, album 2. Like,
Yeah.
that's quite a quick decision to already bring out the follow-up. What made you go, like, let's do it?
I think we would have always planned to do that. I mean, we'd been writing songs for years before we released the first album as well, so we had like a big pool of songs to choose from. So we did write like a bunch more for the album too, but we had quite a big stockpile as it was anyway.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much halfway through album 3 now. So
What? So if you're an October Drift fan, you're going to be fine for a few years. Don't worry about that. It's all going to be good. That's amazing, man. I mean, because you guys have been plugging away, driving. I think you're one of the hardest working bands we've had on this sofa. So congrats with that.
Thanks.
Because it's been, 10 years sort of all together as a band?
yeah, we've been October Drift since I think maybe 2015.
Wow.
But we were in bands before.
What was the other band
So
called?
we were in a band called the Darlingtons when we were.
That sounds very la-di-da.
Which was finished in 2014, I think.
Mm.
But basically, we went to school together. We were in a band before. 3 of us were in a band before that in
Wow.
school. So we've been playing together for well over 10 years, I think. Yeah.
So that's a big pool to draw from for 3 albums then. So
Yeah, I
all,
mean, I'm not saying that early stuff was contenders for any of these
Mate,
albums.
I
but-
want to hear it. I want to hear it. I mean, that's amazing. So basically, what you've managed to do, in a way, for your first 2 albums, have sort of been like your best ofs, in a way, which is
Yeah,
great.
maybe,
That's a
maybe,
good
yeah.
way to come into it. Is it strange though that you've then the new stuff that you've been writing, because you're such a live band, to sort of go, okay, we've never shown anyone this, and this is already recorded? Is that quite tense for you guys?
Well, one of the other things is the way we write and record is that like we'll try a beat and we'll find a bass riff or something like that, and then we'll just record it, and then we'll build it on the computer. So actually, it wasn't
so
until
always start with a rhythm section then.
or a guitar part.
Yeah,
could
okay.
be, but the way it goes is that like we haven't played together, set up and played any of these songs until just the other day when we were like started learning them for the set, and that's the first time we've actually played them ever as a band. So it's like, and actually they all came together quite quickly and quite easily.
So they're not. Are they more? Would you say they're more difficult than your previous stuff? I'm trying to get the secrets. Yeah.
No, I think they're easier.
Oh, really? That's an interesting. So you sort of stripped it back subconsciously there a little bit.
I'm not sure. I think not sure why.
The early stuff
Definitely not harder anyway.
Apparently, M. Banton says the early stuff was ace. Bats is still a banger, but they do say the song might have started the global pandemic.
Oh yeah, okay.
Very clever there. Very clever. We like that. I mean, will we see any of the new stuff, old stuff, sort of resurfacing, because it's not like readily available on streaming services?
Some of the stuff on Forever Whatever was written quite a long time ago. A song called Don't Give Me Hope was written in like 2012 or something like that. So
oh wow.
Some of it's quite old, yeah.
Is it strange then having that on your debut album recently? Because I guess like your feelings towards a song can change so much over time.
Yeah, and I think it can warp your perception of a song if you have lived with it. Like you can be really excited by something new because it's new to you.
Of course.
And your perception of it can be a bit warped sometimes.
But
we also trust it was nice to have Justin and other people around you who you trust to get an opinion.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things with recording ourselves. Actually, is like it's nice to have someone else there who's not in the band, who's got an outside opinion. Because when it's just us, I think you can sometimes be a bit too close to it.
Yeah, because they're like a taste test in a way that you trust, because you trust Justin obviously. Because I mean, the album it's a stonker, mate.
Thank you.
It sounds huge.
Thanks.
That's the thing. Is that Justin's work, or is that you guys in the combination? Because it sounds nearly, dare I say it, arena ready. Like the caliber of the sound of it.
Thanks. I think it was a bit of both. Like Justin wanting to capture the sound of us live. Like he'd seen us playing with editors night after night, so he wanted to then capture that sort of sound. So there's not really, with that album especially, it's not really like, it is just mics in a room and get up and go kind of thing. It's not really
it's recorded like
overproduced
as of
such.
live nearly. Oh wow, that's huge. And then let's talk about a bit like what it was like to sort of tour with editors, because they must have been like heroes of yours a little bit.
Yeah, it was surreal because we sort of would listen to them in college and stuff like that. So again, they were one of those bands that was like a big part of like our musical development, I guess. So, it was a bit surreal when we found out that we were.
How did that come about?
Steve, our agent, is also their agent, and he'd been
Convenient.
He'd been getting in their ear for a few years, I think. And then, they went for it. So we did 3 gigs with them in the UK at first.
Was that for was that their album sort of tester dates or something like that?
Yeah, it was. It was their album. I think it was before their album tour, but they did like a few dates. And we did Birmingham, London, and Manchester with them.
How is it winning over a crowd, like an editor's crowd, compared to like your own gigs?
How is it winning over an editor's crowd? Well, there's a lot more people to win over to begin with. We took to it quite well, I think.
Oh, amazing.
Playing, maybe the first few were quite a bit nerve-wracking, but I think in a way it's a lot easier to play to a bigger room than a small room. Like a small, what we were used to, or what we are used to, is a small room with like hardly anyone in it. In a lot of ways, that's a lot harder than a big room full of people.
Well, you're saying that, but you sold out your tour like every day, which was like incredible. Like
that was cool. I mean,
I saw some interviews. You seem surprised every time it happened, which is
I
really
think
nice.
We still are. I think like we've like I said, we've been doing it for years and years and years, and we toured like quite relentlessly for quite a long while in front of literally no one, and so I think we're still, which taught us to be like really grateful when there are people there. I think.
Oh, it's so lovely. But what is the secret then to keeping a band together for so long? Like, because sometimes I guess it'll happen where if it's not instantaneous, people lose interest. But you guys have managed to keep it together and build on what you had.
Yeah, I think it was. I guess we always believed in it. I guess, and also always looked at every gig as like an opportunity to win, even if there was only a handful of people there to win them over, and then hopefully next time they'll come back and bring someone else, and like it's a slow build, a sort of word of mouth kind of thing.
This is so positive. I love it. And like it's worked because Andy Salmon says seeing editors at Clapham Grand is how I discovered October Drift.
Yeah,
There you go.
a lot of people. I mean, like got into our band on the back of those gigs, which was great. Yeah, amazing.
And it's great timing. And didn't you have a European tour plan that had to be postponed recently?
Yeah, so we were. That was with the Slow Readers Club.
Yeah, who you've sort of come up with in a way.
Yeah, that's. And there's quite a few people from the Slow Readers Club, like playing with them as well, who've like got into our band as well, which is
amazing.
Cool. But yeah, we've played with them years and years. I think we first played with them as the Darlingtons in Leeds. Years and years ago.
So you're way back.
Yeah. But yeah, we were meant to be supporting them around Europe.
Is that going to come back? Is there a chance of seeing you two together live soon?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
Amazing. Oh, so there you go, guys. So if you want to get over to, I don't know where you're playing in Europe. I'm going to say Bahrain. I don't know where that is, but you can. But when you're doing these sort of gigs, I read recently that to sort of, I don't know if this is true or if you guys were being flippant in an interview, but you like to watch Ground Force afterwards to calm down. Is that true?
Well, we always end up, travel lodges in unromantic places on the motorway.
Yeah.
And
I find motorways very romantic. I don't know what you're on about.
I think Ground Force always seems to be on at like 3 a.m. on whatever TV channel you get in a travel lodge at that time.
Would you say you're experts on Ground Force then because of it?
That and Kitchen Nightmares, yeah.
Ooh, what a combo. Well, I'm going to test your knowledge on Ground Force because I've managed to find some synopsis of some Ground Force episodes and I've written some myself. So you've got to tell me if it's a real Ground Force episode or if it's fake.
Okay.
So here we go. The green-fingered experts call the police, then make them help rebuild a Warwick couple's garden. Is that real or not? What are we saying as a band? And as well, all your Twitchers get involved.
Sounds true.
You've all gone true. I mean, are you saying true as well? You don't have to agree with your band. I mean, that's what we've learned over time. Sounds legit. You're, of course, correct. Yes, that was true. The next one. Alan discovers something worrying from World War II when transforming a garden in Coventry for a retired pilot. Ooh.
That sounds very legit.
Yeah.
That sounds very true.
You're going for legit. Sarah has gone for true as well. You're going for legit.
Yeah.
You're incorrect. That was out of my noggin.
That was a really good one.
Thanks, guys. I wrote that at 3 a.m. because I have nothing better to do. The Garden Gang use a bus shelter to make a retired bus driver's garden a must-stop place to visit.
Nice, I like what you did there.
Little bit of puns there. But is that from my punnery or from someone else's punnery? Is that legit or false? Twitchers, get involved. I want to hear from you. Let us know you're out there.
If that's from your punnery, then I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm going false.
You're going for true as well.
You're going false.
You're going false. Okay.
Give this one to Dan.
I don't know. That last question's thrown me. I don't trust myself anymore.
Feebrad's gone for false as well.
I'm going to go false.
Go for false. It was false. That was me. So
was all
be
you.
impressed, guys. I'm a man who knows a pun. I know my way around a pun. They should pay me more. A nuclear submariner or submariner is going to be in a mood if he arrives and the cement in his garden isn't dry. And after all that nuclear training, you won't like him when he's angry.
Yeah.
You reckon? Just not having the cement dry. Why was there so much cement in Ground Force, by the way?
Yeah, gravel, cement, yeah.
They loved it. They loved a bit of grey. Why not? This will make this garden blossom, covering it in cement. Are we going for true or not true? Gudu has gone for true. Feebrad has gone for true for this one. Truth says
We'll go
Plum
true.
Suffocate. Facts, they're going for true. That one was true. Yeah, a nuclear submariner who needs his garden cemented just to make him see what's good in life. Okay, here we go. Alan decides to play for both teams by trying to create a garden for the ultimate football fan in Northern Ireland. But will the neighbours pitch in to help?
I'm going. You
Going
go
for
false.
false. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it was the 90s, baby. They can say they're
Yeah,
playing for
there's
both
a lot of
sides.
innuendos in Ground
Things were
Force.
happening. You know, the Spice Girls were owning the world.
Yeah. I false. I'll go false.
I'll agree. False.
I'm going to go for true.
That was true. Congratulations. And Wandy Watt, does he do these quizzes so he doesn't have to do any research? True. True. October Drift, who the heck are they? I was just surprised when they turned up. But speaking of not doing the research, how was it walking on stage at Glastonbury on the John Peel stage of all stages?
Yeah, amazing.
Wow. Like that I'm sorry, but you guys could quit now. The fact that you've done that.
It was one of those bucket list things, like where
Yeah.
it was one of those things where it's like, oh, we could kind of, if for whatever reason it did, like if the band stopped, it would still be like, oh, cool, we did that. Yeah.
What goes through your head when you're walking on stage at Glastonbury at John Peel? Like, cause I'll never have that. Well, what went through your head as you're doing it?
I think we were quite nervous before. It was also the Sunday morning, so it was like
You were like,
we were,
ooh.
we'd been there from the Wednesday, and in the back of my head it was like Sunday mornings, like, and so it was almost a relief to be doing it, like,
Yeah.
because of the nerves and stuff. But actually, as soon as we were into the first song, I think we've just a normal routine, almost like,
Just kicks in.
yeah.
And I heard like, and you guys are very humble, but be honest, you had a fair crowd.
Yeah, I think they said it was for that Sunday. It was the Sunday morning slot, you know.
Of
but they
course,
said
which
for
is it's a heavy head slot.
I think they said for that slot, it was the busiest that they could remember the people who were there on the things. So that was great, yeah. And
That's
because we're
amazing.
from like near Glastonbury as well, so
You just walked, didn't you?
yeah. But there was a lot of people we knew in the crowd, which was like nice in itself.
Oh, that's lovely. Any mum's friends knocking about?
Loads.
Oh, it's always good when you got the mum's friends in. They are the most supportive group you'll ever have in your life.
But yeah, I think just because, I mean, maybe even more so because Glastonbury is like on the doorstep, that it's always been there throughout our lives. It's like this major thing that's like, it was like quite a big thing, yeah, obviously to be there.
Yeah, that is local for you. But what I found weird is, like, when I was doing my research on you guys, I nearly thought you were a Manchester band because this city and you guys have such a big connection. Like, and with Scruff, like, didn't Scruff put on one of your first gigs as
Yeah.
October Drift in Manchester?
Yeah, they did. We were saying, because obviously this place is like beautiful and swanky and stuff, but the first place, well, the first gig we did with Scruff was it called the old, what was the pub called? The old the Royal Oak. That was it.
Royal
yeah.
Oak.
And that
Ooh.
was their first.
That's the first little venue
And I
that
think
Mark
they
was
had the
doing,
little
yeah.
studio upstairs at the Royal Oak, and that seems like quite a long throwaway. I mean, no disrespect to the Royal Oak, but
Yeah.
this
This is a bit.
yeah.
Yeah, we've put more cash into this. We tried harder.
So it's cool. Yeah, we've seen Scruff for the next from quite early days as well, but
You've grown with them.
Manchester, I think, has. I think musically we sort of slot into Manchester's music scene quite.
You've got that big brash sort of sound that kind of works really well with this city.
Mhm. And in terms of like selling tickets and things like that,
Yeah.
Manchester's been really like super supportive and been one of those cities that's what's the word I'm looking for? They've welcomed us really. Like I
Yeah,
guess, yeah.
you feel like honorary Manx a little bit, which is beautiful to hear. And as a Manc myself, welcome.
Thank you.
It's lovely to have you here, and it's good to have you back. And I mean, we're going to be hearing a lot more of October Drift in the future, by the sounds of it. You've got album 2 on the way. Can you sort of guesstimate a time that we could hear this second album?
Well, we didn't want to release it. I mean, we planning things with obviously with the coronavirus and lockdowns and stuff has been super difficult. Like
Of course.
we didn't know how long we couldn't tour for and stuff like that, and we didn't want to release an album if we couldn't gig. Now it looks like things are opening up and stuff, and we're now in a position where we can sort of start.
What I'm hearing is
Schedule.
soon.
Yeah, well, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully.
I'm excited, and I'm even more excited to hear you live because I feel like we're going to have to reconstruct the stage after you guys are done. So, mate, I'm not going to keep you any longer. You get up, you get off, you get ready, get yourself mentally prepared, physically, I imagine, because let's test out the fitness with this set.
Yeah.
So if you want to witness the fitness of October Drift, yeah, I made a rhyme, and what of it? They're going to be on with you in about 3 minutes. Don't you go anywhere. Actually, you go about 3 minutes to make a cup of tea or have a beverage of your choice, but then come back and just see the utter chaos, these lads are going to be performing on stage just for you.